Hey, so what's going on, everybody? My name is Donald, aka Ben Wonderful, here on YouTube, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today's video, we're going to be talking about a new toy that I got. Well, I got this XH1, this is new, and I also got this 16mm 1.4, which is my new lens by Fujifilm. So far, man, I'm loving this thing. But before I get started and tell you about the specs and some of the qualities of this lens and my initial thoughts on it, I'm going to take you to my very first time having this lens, and which is taking it out at nighttime. From what I've seen from some of the footage I looked at, it's not that great for autofocus in a low light condition like this. I tested out with decent light, and I can tell the autofocus is pretty decent. So, you know, what do you guys think though? Let me know in the comment section below, and let's keep it going. Now, one of the things about this lens that makes it a little bit more unique compared to some other Fuji lenses is that it has this aperture ring that pulls back to put it into the manual mode. So that's pretty interesting. So far, I'm liking it, but I can see how this could be a headache, especially if you want to combine auto and manual at the same time. You want to try to utilize both. It's kind of impossible with this lens at this point in time, at least as far as I know. You can only do one or the other. If you have it on manual, there's no autofocus. So that could be an issue, but for now, I like it. I love the feel of the aperture ring, and also I love I believe this is my second lens with the actual numbered aperture on it. So of course I love that about the Fuji lenses, that they actually have the aperture ring on the lens. So that's pretty nice. One of the other things about this lens that I really enjoy is that it's weather resistant. So just like my 23mm, I can take this thing out and have no issues if I'm in the rain or the dust or whatever the case may be. I'm out and about. This is definitely a lens that I could just throw on there. And I mentioned this in the previous video that 24mm is my favorite focal length, and on an APS-C camera, which is the XH1 and also the Fuji X-T3, which I'm filming on right now, they're both crop sensor cameras. So 16mm will be equivalent to about 24mm. So it's my favorite focal length because I love wide shots. Obviously, I love wide angles. I utilize it in some of my travel videos and some of my other different types of videos. I love that you can get a lot of the subject inside of the frame, as well as get a good view of the surroundings. Now, speaking of the surroundings, one of the other things that's so great about having such a low aperture, or high aperture as you call it, 1.4, is you get that beautiful blurry background, which, you know, some people would call it the bokeh. That blurry background is like you know, for me, when you're filming, it's very cinematic, and it looks like kind of filmish, and it looks more like something that you'll see on the screen, on the big screen. So yeah, of course, I love the bokeh look. Now, this is not all positives. I love this lens, but obviously it's great for low light recording, but the autofocus is not going to be very strong when it comes to low light performance. If you want to trust this, unfortunately, the Fuji cameras don't have that flip around screen so you can see yourself and get yourself framed up or in focus. So in low light, I probably wouldn't recommend you use this as far as vlogging personally, but in decent lighting, you're gonna get some great results. All right, so in case you were wondering what this thing looks like for vlogging purposes or in the daylight, because the only time I got to shoot this was at nighttime, I decided to go ahead and take this out. And by the way, how you like the beard? It's a little scruffy, just coming in. But anyways, all right guys, let me pause the video real quick. I forgot to put a con in there that I think you should be aware of, just in case, before you even get this, because for me, I mostly get these lenses for the video purposes. So you should be aware that this lens has no stabilization whatsoever. So if you're gonna use this, I say you might wanna use it on a gimbal, or like I'm currently using it on an XH1 that has in-body stabilization built in. So just want to throw that out there. I don't want to interrupt the video, and I'll let it continue. So I could definitely recommend this lens, but if you don't want to go out and spend the extra money for this lens, because it's about $800 I think, or $900, and if you don't want to spend that, I've heard some pretty good things so far about the 16mm 2.8, which is its little brother. Basically, it's $400, so it's like about half the price, and I believe it's weather resistant as well. and it's a lot smaller. So this is not really a big lens, but you know, if you want a smaller form factor, something that's easy to carry around, easy to throw in the bag, then you definitely should probably look into that 16 2.8. So that's just an option for you. But if you want the best of the best in that focal range, that 24mm equivalent, then I'd say you might as well get this one right here, and I can pretty much guarantee you that you won't be disappointed. So if you're a Fuji fan, you definitely should look into this, and if you love wide angles, you definitely should look into the 16mm lens. Now I also have the 10-24, which is a zoom lens for Fuji wide angle, but it's stuck at f4. So you know, you might be curious to how this compares to that. Quite frankly, it blows it out of water with the sacrifice of not being able to zoom. The actual sharpness, I believe, is a lot better on this lens. So if you're on the fence, I would say that if you want the zoom ability, or if you need a little bit wider, maybe if you're a vlogger and you want something a little bit wider, you need that 10mm, then I would say just go ahead and get the zoom lens version. But if you want something that's more sharp, if you're a photographer, or even if you're a videographer and you want something just a little bit more sharper and a little bit cleaner, you get a better bokeh, then I'm definitely gonna say go for this lens right here. So anyways guys, maybe I'll do a full review on this lens, but for now I gave you my initial thoughts. I'll let you know what I thought about this lens, and you know, to sum it all up, I'm a fan of this lens. I can't wait to take this on my trip and get some more photography and some more videos done with this lens. So hopefully you guys got something out of this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like on this video. Consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. I got future content coming, travel videos coming your way soon, and more videos like this. So if you liked it, you know, join the gang. Anyways, I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace. A little bit of behind the scenes. You guys can see a little bit of how I set up my studio. Let me know if you guys are interested in a behind the scenes type of video. I'll let you know what equipment I use to set up the studio so far. This is its current setting. I'm continually trying to improve it. But if you want to see what I've done so far, just let me know in the comment section, and you know, I'll make that video happen. But anyways, back to the regular scheduled program.